Okay, so today I'm joined by 2023 PFL Light Heavyweight Champion Impa Kasanganay. How are you, man?
Great. How are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, you
Very
just
good.
cut out. Anyway, I'm getting you after your big super fight, right, with Johnny Eblen, just to kind of set the stage.
Yeah.
And it's after a loss, so it's not as fun coming on after a loss. So I just want to thank you for coming on right now.
Oh man, I'm straight. I keep moving forward in life. I'm not. Most people's gonna ever cry about life, you know. So I appreciate you
Yeah,
having me, man. It's back to work. Thanks for thinking about me.
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, man. I got a lot of questions for you. I
Yeah,
guess
it's good.
first of all, how'd you like being in Saudi Arabia?
Saturday was great. Saturday was wonderful, man. It was an honor to be there. I man, I couldn't even tell you at the time, from the open workout with the kids to the fight itself, like a blessing to be there. Things you could do better, right? Like people argue, won the fight, lost the fight, all that stuff. But it's like I would keep moving forward. My family came and surprised me. Coaches had a great time. Jason Jackson, my teammate, won his super fight, got his belt. I'm just loving life, man. It was a beautiful time.
Yeah. I also saw that you were doing a little open workout with the kids and stuff like that. That must have been pretty cool, right?
Yeah, the kids was my favorite.
How did they kind of treat you like a little superhero out there, or what? Like a little bit like a superhero?
Sorry, my dog never does. It's the only one I'm in. We had such a sorry. We had such a great time. Man,
Yeah, I was asking though, like,
the kids were great. They
did they kind
they
of
were
know
like,
who you were?
yeah, they were very very welcoming, and I feel like
Yeah.
they just welcomed me. I feel like they knew who I was, and just I had an incredible time. It was it was wonderful. They they welcomed me. They were asking questions. One kid even asked me, he goes, "Hey, what does it feel like when you experience fear before a fight?" And I was like, "That's interesting that the kid would ask that, or before competition or anything." And just his brains thinking about all that really made me like wonder how these kids just like go about their business and about their days to like to wonder who a fighter is. That they're super respectful. I got to go out there and work out with them. You can tell they train out there. The
Oh yeah.
kid was trying to choke me for real, and it was just to be a part of not just the experience, but an honor to have my name as a premier fighter there. They had me on billboards, and I was like, man, just like an honor. I think about like, my life was a year ago. Before that, I wasn't even in the PFL, and then
Yeah.
now I'm sitting here in Riyadh, getting such a great treatment and so much respect. I don't even know where to start with all that. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
just had a great time, man. I was like, overall, just a great honor, and overall, I had
Yeah, it's probably something you'll never forget, right?
never, never.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then also just being out there because you were like cutting weight. Did you get to enjoy some of the, I guess, what do you call it? Festivities? Like the foods
Yeah,
and stuff? Because they try to
yeah.
like feed you well out there, right?
Yeah, I ate pretty good all week. 85 is not much of a cut for me. It was like I could probably make 85 any day of the week. Any week. So especially like
Oh, okay.
that post fight, like when I'm in training, full go, like 85 is not an issue to make. I just go out there, sweat a little bit, and I'm on weight. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did get to enjoy some of the kind of food and stuff out there?
Oh yes, for sure. They had this rice and chicken dish I liked a lot. It was super super good. You had God, there was different spices. I couldn't tell you what it's called. If I try to pronounce it, I sound stupid. But it was an amazing, amazing meal. So
Is
I
it like
enjoyed it.
grilled or something, like a kebab type thing, or?
And then it was mixed into the rice, eat it, and like it was cool because I went to a place where you take your shoes off, you sit around the table, with your hands, and you have a family style eating. So I enjoyed it a lot.
That's pretty cool. Is there any things about their culture that you feel like is better than the US?
I wanted to compare cultures. Like there's some cool things I have there where like I think every kid I met, like it's just like you kind of being in the South. Like kids will shake your hands when they see you.
Hmm.
This dog is my dog has been crazy right now. He was so chill.
It's all good. I don't mind.
Sorry. Beacon, what are you doing?
Is he in the
It's so
cage?
funny. No, he's hanging out. He's just tearing stuff up. I don't know. Beacon, what are you doing,
He's
buddy?
trying to get your attention.
For real, I think that's what it is. It's hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it was just an incredible time. Sorry, can you even ask the question again? I apologize. This dog just had my.
Oh, no, I was saying, did they have anything out there in Saudi Arabia that you kind
Oh,
of like liked more than that kind of stands out that's not in the American culture?
not really. Like it was like people that were just really considered sweet. You know, like some parts of the United States are like that. Some parts of the United States aren't. I
Yeah.
it's just like I mean I'm sure that happens there too, but everybody was super welcoming. Everybody was super nice to me. Their hospitality was nice. Like it was really cool. But it's like I've been places like that too. Like I love being in the USA, you know, and like I have like a great time in this country. I don't say it just because I'm like I grew up here, my parents immigrated here. No, it's just like I absolutely love like being here, and there wasn't too much of a great place. Places where you know, like these a terrible time.
Yeah. Well, okay, so how about the fight now a little bit? Johnny Eblen, I want to kind of set the stage. After we spoke, man, he starts dropping these crazy ass promos and shit like that. I was like so jealous that I didn't get you on before or after that because I wanted to get your thoughts on it. But what were your
Oh,
thoughts going into He's just being a funny guy, I guess, being a dog. It seems like a joke at this point.
what like like his fans promos and stuff.
Yeah, that was like the day
Oh,
after we spoke.
yeah. Oh, I don't stress that stuff. I just think
Nah.
it's like you're trying to figure yourself out in life. He's cool. His girlfriend's cool. They're all like just making the most of this life. Probably making money doing it. I don't stress and pay attention to stuff like that. It's not what I subscribe to. You know, in a sense of like that's not my that's not my what's it called? Um, how I want to represent myself or anything like that. Even if it's a joke, it's like, but what am I gonna say? Like everybody has their own thing in life, and
Yeah.
when it comes to it, it has nothing to do with in ways yes, but like in how I focus, like nothing to do with the fights. I just pay attention to it. Like not for me. Like let him make his money, let him do his thing, and you'll see. I mean, I always think about like how I look at it as like kids, right? And I just think about how like what kids are gonna see and what they're gonna say is like acceptable in their life. And that's it. Like for me, it's like I wouldn't want to represent myself in a way like promoting like anything crazy. You know, even if it like kind of leads to it. Like I'm not a perfect guy at all. I made mistakes. Everybody has lust. Everybody has things for different things. But it's just like that corny Colby Covington type thing to me. Like, and then it's just like that. How long does that last for? Really? That's about it. Like, not to
Yeah.
insult the guy. Good fighter, respectful guy. We talked. We talked about doing a rematch down the road. You know, so he said like I'm game. I respect him as a man. All that other stuff I think is just smoke and mirrors, and all that other stuff to me is just a waste of time. To be real, like I
Yeah.
don't
No,
know.
I
I
hear
don't pay
you.
attention to that.
I guess the devil's advocate is he was doing some promotion for your guys' fight. You know, if like, you know, I guess how do I put it? Like Colby Covington, right? It's the same type of thing. They just kind of promote that and it gets the kids' attention and it's maybe it's a little bit of negative energy, but did you like the fact that it was promotion for the fight or you just don't really care?
No, I didn't care because I think the promotion for the fight was us. PFL promoted us
Right.
really well in Bellator. Like when I say I'm gonna look at my life 10 years, 15 years down the road and say who do you come home to or like what do my future kids watch? I mean that's just me. Like I can't speak for anybody else or like what they're gonna be like. You know, I'm gonna just be myself, right? And like I want to represent myself the best that I can. And I think it's just like yeah, sometimes we do stuff like promotion, we do stuff like in a sense like what are you willing to sell your soul to get promoted, right? That fight itself
Yeah.
didn't need any promotion. John is a really good fighter. I'm an excellent fighter. We're both going to get better. We threw down, we came to fight. I think it was the best fight of the night, right? Regardless of
Right.
the judge's decision. Like, that's like, if you look at the guy that got beat up, right? I wasn't beat up. And how do you judge a fight? You can argue all that stuff. But the cool thing is, like, I'm not the one that has to argue it. Like, I was never one, like, crying out loud. I talk about it, yeah, but I'm not one of those people who's like, not one of those people who say, oh, man, like, there's people around the world. It's like, everyone, John, because just because it didn't need any extra promotion. It was just they respect Johnny. They thought he's a very good fighter, and which he is. But it's like what a lot of people thought like wasn't what happened. Right? Once those cage
Right.
doors closed, there's no excuse. And to the judges scorecards, they say I lost. To many people in the world, they say I won. Right? Let's do it 2 more times. Let's get that. Let's get that rematch and that tiebreaker. That's how I look at it. So for me, it's
Right.
that's it. So did it really need all that extra stuff? No, it was just like I was just trying to like appease the community of people who just kind of want to like I call it like low tier thinking, right? You gotta let that stuff go eventually. But it's like I don't. It's no shot at Johnny. It's just whoever. I don't know who he's taking care of in life, right? Maybe he's taking care of a mother. Maybe he's taking care of a cousin. Like, and he made some pretty good money. God bless him. Let's fight again. Like if he wants to do some
Right.
more OnlyFans promotion or whatever they want to do, it's on them. Some people don't think it's corny. Some people think it's funny, and I'm just like, all right, like I'm here to fight, right? And that's just how I look at my
Yeah.
life.
When I talk to you, I'm like, fuck. He kind of got me. Johnny kind of like got me biting on it a little bit because I find
Mm,
it funny. I'm like a not so serious guy in a way, right? So sometimes I
yeah.
find it kind of funny. But you are kind of right, and I think I kind of agree with the low IQ a little bit. Not that Johnny's low IQ, but I have also said in the past, just speaking with like my friends and stuff, like when you're chasing too much women in a way, it's like a little bit low IQ to be doing that. You know, because there's a lot more to life than like just chasing chicks all the time. So I get what you're saying there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny's like
Not that
chasing
he's
women,
doing
whatever.
that,
I
but
think
we're just
he,
talking. We're just
yeah,
talking.
yeah. Talking. I think he and his girl like they're cool
Yeah.
people. Like I met them. We bumped each other at the airport. She's hilarious. They're funny. They make these jokes. He seems like a good dude. I think he's just trying to. He's navigating life in his own way, and that's about it. That's all I can say. I don't try
Right.
to get into some of his personal life or relationship. I'm just like I mean, I really just think like some people don't know the difference. Some kids won't know the difference, right? And it's like what path does that lead them on, right? I'm not against drinking. I'm not
Right.
against it at all, but I look at it like they say we say we want to be the premier sports in the world, right? But if you go
Yeah.
to like baseball, basketball, football, whatever, like there's a certain standard that's set at the highest level. But then again, fighters want to get paid those where we treat ourselves like prostitutes, you know?
Hmm.
And then it's like, oh, pay me more, but it's like, look for what? There's no respect. I'm not worried about what I get paid in a fight. I'm gonna go earn it and build it in my life. Eventually, I'll earn the major dollars. I'm just gonna keep going to work. But sometimes you see stuff it's just like man like what are we going to be invested in, right?
Yeah.
OnlyFans wanted to turn their company around. They didn't. And it's like I don't know, this conversation took a turn for the OnlyFans and morality of life. No, not saying that. I'm just like I like the guy. He's a good fighter. Like
Yeah.
dang, he won the sport of it, right? Who got more beat
Yes.
up? Not me, right? It's like whatever. Like all right, so then what am I supposed to do? Like in a sense, cry about it and beg. I'm just like, let's just go do it again. He's down, I'm
Right.
down. That's how I look at life. And if we went that way in that direction, I think the MMA world would overall get the respect it is. It's like it's kind of like you can either be a laughing stock and just be the guy who looks like a arrogant fool, or you can be the guy who's um just building your life and working hard and putting your hat on and getting to work the next day.
Yeah.
So
No, I hear you, man. And
mm,
like you say, Johnny's probably a good guy. Nothing really against him. We're just kind of talking about just this
yeah,
kind of broad topic in a way.
yes,
But
that's it.
you know, there is something definitely to having to kind of how do you put it? Um promote a more adult message, I guess you will, or a more mature message to the kids. I guess that's what you're saying about NFL, NBA. They kind of like don't
Yeah,
have that. But fighting's different because like it gets people to buy the fights. But then again, who knows? Like it, then you got to be getting pay-per-view points for that. So that's all a different
yeah,
topic. But I want to move on past it at this point.
yeah.
The fight was the fight was great, man. And you dropped him in the second round. These are my thoughts, and then I'd love to get your thoughts. So the first round, right? I thought you kind of stole that one. I thought the second round was so close, man. You had definitely the most dominant part of that round, but he seemed to get the control time more. So it just depends on like what rule set you're kind of like valuing there. And then the third round, he seemed to have won that one. I'll give it to him. But man, all of it. Actually, even the third round, looking back, like you had that one pretty close too. So it's tough, man. I guess how are you looking at it?
I'm not one of those people who ever cries about it. The judges about it, and like, oh, what am I going to do? Pass. I got I got to fight April 12th. How I look at it is just like, yeah, drop somebody, you drop them twice, you hurt them a few times. I don't know how that weighs more than just somebody kind of get control time and stuff. But I also look at it like I get the scorecard, I get where they say it, and it doesn't take from a guy. He did his job. And he kind of was like more like survival, right? And if you're trying to survive, to me, it means you're dying, right? Like if it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna throw down with this person, I'm gonna do this. Like his teammate George Masvidal said Johnny by murder. They're all talking about this thing. I see the comments, right? But then it's like, does it stand true anymore, right? A lot of people thought, oh, this guy's gonna get molly. Like I got my, oh my gosh, my dog just broke my door. Beacon, no. um, how did you do that, buddy? Um, I always look at it like your that fight to me showed that okay, if he's considered one of the best middleweights in the world, the best middleweight in the world, then really took it to him. Right?
Yeah.
Not like being disrespectful here. It says to me that it says to me that it says to me that like you just know where I stand now. That I don't have to talk about it. Everybody always questions like I'm not the one going around and saying, oh, the fight was close. And I think you could have won. Arguably, you were on round one. You dropped him round two. You hurt him again. He just had control time. That's kind of like, to me, it's like making an excuse for somebody to be. You're just trying to survive. Like, it's like whatever. Like, I don't see it like that. But you talk about a fight and getting wrecked and getting hurt and damaged and just trying to survive. Now, how I look at it is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better at those parts. I'm gonna get better at the wrestling. Like, I started training at 24. I've been wrestling since I was 5. I've been boxing since I was 5. I've been doing any of this since I was 5. So I know that, like, the ceiling, there's no ceiling. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And uh, it inspires me. It motivates me. It encourages me, and it just lets me know that there's my respect. Like this guy's at the top level,
Right.
and we took it to him. Right? You're always gonna remember me. You're gonna remember you got dropped. You're gonna remember you got hurt multiple times. You're gonna remember that you're missing and you got countered. Like there's gonna be all those different things, but it's also just says like, hey, I'm gonna remember like, you know what? Like I want to get better. It's funny. Like you talk about Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen says Impa won round 2 1. Impa
And
won
then he's
round
like,
2
but he
based on
lost.
commentary. Then it's like Impa. But yeah, it's like these commentators, these people don't know what they're saying. They're just gonna say whatever favors their job. I don't know. Like I really don't care. It's just like I'm just gonna like I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna put my hat back on. I'm gonna go to work. And that's how I look at it. It's like I know who I am. I don't need a belt to tell me that, right? I know if I beat you up and they give it to you, I don't have to argue it. You could just look at all the comments. You can look at all the people who are into fighting, right? And I mean people who are gonna support you biasly. People who support me bias, and people are gonna support him with bias. That's like that's your people in your camp. They're supposed to, you know. Um, so I just look at it that way. Like I always say this, like I won a fight, I lost a decision. There are errors on my part in that fight that I wouldn't make, that I did make. And Johnny's very smart. He's a high level fighter, and I could definitely see why the judges gave him the nod, and he earned it. So I get better, I move forward, and like I just thank God that I get to keep doing what I love healthy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was very close. I guess where did you see that you could have done better in that fight? Like that takeaway that you probably walked away with?
Oh man, like how I defended the takedown, so like re-wrestling, um, not listening to like oh how do you say like just like in a sense like some parts of the fight maybe like coaching like okay like you're ahead here, you're ahead here, you're ahead here. Whereas in a sense like just keep pushing that pace more, right? I know I could have. I think I read a little too much in the fight where I could have honestly. What is this dog doing? Stop it, Beacon. Sorry, he is acting out today. Um, uh, Parts of the fight where I could have just, push the pace more, right? And I'll show it. I tell you this: when I get that rematch, I won't miss, and that's it, right? God bless it. PFL wants to set it up. Bellator wants to do it again. Johnny's a man. He's game. Like I really respect him. He wants to do it again. I won't miss. I'm sure he's gonna bring it too. And that's what like not every fighter in life gets that quote unquote rival or that person that they can go back and forth and have 3 fights with. Right? So if I get that opportunity, let's get after it. Let's do it next week. Let's do it next year. Let's do it next month. I'll do it in between the season. Just send me the contract and I'll show it.
Okay. Now I have two things off of that, which is one of the thoughts I had about that fight, and you're going to try to go for that rematch, right? So we don't want to, I guess, break it down too much. But something as a viewer, somebody who's not trained like you, just going to put it all out there. I thought in that second round after you dropped him might have been a turning point. I thought that you had amazing composure, just like in your last fight. But after you had dropped him, it seemed like the composure slipped just for that round, and you were able to kind of gather it towards the end of the fight, but it took you a minute to kind of regather it, it seemed like, from my outside perspective. What are your thoughts on that?
I can see we could think that. I mean, my overall, uh, sit, my overall composure, stayed the same. I was cold. I mean, I just feel like where I messed up was that I rushed the finish. It's also too like going for the kill. You want to kill the guy. Like you're not here just going to be like patty cake, right? I had the opportunity. I struck and I took the shot and I missed. Right. Now it's just how I. And they said when I regained that composure, it's just like, oh, okay, like figuring it out. Um, look at this guy just acting a fool today. I how I how I put it together. How I put it together could have been a lot better, the way I was going to finish him, right? You dropped him
Mm.
again, dropped him once, dropped him again. And I think
Maybe
that
like
could
let
have
him
been,
stand up instead and walked away. Like, is that something you might have considered,
yeah,
or
yeah, probably. That could have been
maybe?
helpful. But I don't think he would have got up really too well. If I did what
Yeah,
I did when I fought Martin Hendrick, maybe he would have just been out.
yeah. But it's
No
all
doubt, right? You
hindsight,
can
you
always
know.
say hindsight's 2020 now.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
right.
But hey
Hey,
man, you learn to keep makes you better.
yeah. Do you mind, because your picture's frozen, and I think we're doing good. I'm hoping that it'll all end up good. But just in case, do you mind like
Oh,
exiting and then rejoining? Just like I
yeah.
guess end it and then come back in.
Better?
Okay. Yeah, seems to be better now.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so I wanted to ask again, Johnny Eblen, you're talking about the rematch. How realistic do you think this is for the future? Have you been able to kind of like do any talks about the rematch, or is this just kind of like what you're aiming for?
Besides Johnny saying let's do a rematch 5 rounds and Instagram, I think PFL
Okay.
posted something like let's do it. Oh yeah, I said respect, let's do it. I want it. Nothing from the PFL yet or Bellator side. I mean, my focus right now is the season, which I'm stepping into. Um, but it's the end of the year, next week, literally. Like, I mean, just call me. I'm ready to go. Like, I'll make the same mistake twice. And
Okay.
but I respect him. Verbally he's down, I'm down, and we'll see what God puts together. I can't really um, focus on what isn't offered to me right now. But I definitely love that one. I would love it twice. Like 2 more times. Go Clemens victory, go to a
Yeah.
tiebreaker. I'm not one of those people who's going to sit here and just be like, all right, I got it, and now it's done. No, like, no, man versus man, let's get it.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely a storyline there. Are you extra motivated to win this light heavyweight title again, just to really solidify and be able to call the shot you want?
Oh man, I'm always motivated to win every fight. It doesn't matter.
Of course, right? Yeah.
In Riyadh, like I'm just
Yeah.
absolutely done. And I got the fight. Actually, I could care if it's a fight in a parking lot or if the fight is in Kingdom Arena. Just you put the gloves on, you close the cage, or no gloves. Like let's just like as a man, like I'm here to fight and win. Like not just not to survive or not to just kind of just be there and like at point like I want to finish everybody. That's like it doesn't matter
Hmm.
who it is. Yeah, and that for me is that.
Yeah.
So like it's like always, and I don't think that fight took me out of that. For the fact that it's always argued that I won. Right, so it's like okay, like just watch. That's why I'm not a big trash talker or anything like that. It's just like just watch me, right? So many,
Yeah.
so many people who are just like, oh, this fight's a bad fight for Impa, all these different things, and then you see, right? What? No, it's just we move forward. But man, yeah, like I love the season. I love being active. I love to fight. The more wins I get, the more wins I get, the more I get to fight. That's more than enough motivation for me.
Right. And then as far as the season goes, do you know who you're going to be fighting next yet, or anything like that?
I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see who I'm going to get the fights from. We're waiting. I see with so many people. I see Rob Wilkinson's in the tournament, Phil Davis. I want to see what the PFL officially does, and soon enough, soon enough.
Oh shit, Mr. Wonderful's coming back?
Who's Mr. Wonderful?
That's Phil Davis.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's Phil Davis.
is that his fight?
Former UFC fighter, right? Light heavyweight?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I heavyweight. I don't know what his
He fought Anthony Johnson.
You did? See, I don't
RIP
know.
to Anthony
That
Johnson.
might have been well before the time I started fighting. So
You got to look it up. I'm pretty sure Anthony Johnson pieced up Phil Davis bad in that fight.
nice. Shout out to Rumble.
Yeah.
Shout
Out to Rumble, baby.
The rest of his soul.
Yeah, RIP to Rumble, man. So about just a couple more about PFL, and I just would like to get your thoughts on 2 more topics, if that's okay. And we're already at 30 minutes, so if you have to go, then just let me know, okay?
Hey, I have a lesson in a little bit, but he's talking to my friend, so we're gonna rush north.
Okay. I was gonna ask PFL with that with his Cedric Doumbe. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
With the splinter and shit.
was it a splinter?
Yeah,
Was it glass?
that's kinda...
What was that? I didn't really pay attention too much. I saw something that ended the fight weird, but I didn't know that it was. Was it What was it? Was it a piece of glass?
It looked like a splinter. It seemed like a piece of wood or a piece of glass, like, was stuck in his big toe.
Okay.
But man, I mean, did you see how that stoppage kind of came about? It seemed abrupt. I thought, and probably devil's out, or what's it called, 2020 again, hindsight. But I thought Goddard should have been a little bit more chill about that.
Man, I don't want to talk trash about Goddard. Goddard's such a good ref, man, a good person. Like, it to me, towards me, I've been, I can't say anything about him. Like and truly, like he's been. I mean, from the time in the UFC till now, it's just been like respectful. I'm not saying like, has he ever? He's doing what he needs to do, right? Jordan the fight before, not Jordan. Cedric the fight before, trying to bring the mattress into the cage and all this other stuff, and like these antics that aren't true to it. And then you have something like this happen. Is it coincidence? Is it not? Like, right? Like, and then it's like, did you really outstrike this dude? Because I don't know, what round was it? Was it the 3rd round? Did you just take this dude out and kill him? Right? Did your second round? So you didn't get him on the first, didn't get him on the second, but like you're supposed to murder this guy. Then you don't. So is it that you're breaking? And maybe you felt it earlier. I don't know. Right? And then the PFL cage crew does a great job. Like, I mean, the guy Eric, who builds the cages, always does an amazing job. So I don't know if there's something in it, debris, maybe something on the way. Like, who knows what it was? But I do know that everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. You either fold or you don't. Right? Some people get poisoned. Some people get cut. Some people, it's different things like that. So we'll see. I mean, there's a very interesting stop to a fight. Hate it for him. But who knows, man? I think I did not watch that fight, but I do hear the other guy was getting after him. So maybe that's your exit. Because I feel like if some guy has even people in this world of soldiers, anybody, some people even in the street, they get stabbed and they keep fighting. So if it's a splinter and you stop and you're a high level kickboxer, I don't know what to. I just don't know what to say. I just hope he's good. And if they get the rematch, they do. If not, like, it's not my place to speak on. Like, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to draw it out of me.
I'm gonna leave it alone now, but I can hear it in your tone. You're just like, that would not be me.
Those are your words. Those are your words, not mine. I just said that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't look. Man, hey, we got the Lone Star kid in town though. Hold up, let's give my dog a shout out. Landry Ward fighting here March 29th.
Oh yeah,
Kentucky.
Okay.
From Texas.
180, I'll tune in.
LFA 180. That's my dog right there. Hey, he's a beast.
LFA 180. Andrew Ward. Look out for him.
Andrew Ward. Landry Ward.
Yeah.
Landry.
Oh, Landry. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, who's Landry? That's my dog. I was like, who's Landry?
All right. So last thing I want to ask you, and we'll get you out of here. Francis Ngannou, devastating knockout, man. I'm a little bit done with the boxing after that one. That one, like, dude, I'm hoping Francis will come back after that, but that was fucking brutal. Any thoughts?
And that's the thing is like I don't see it as brutal, right? Like he
You
got knocked
don't, yeah.
he got knocked out for sure. But like, do you think that for the Francis that I've met and known, barely, in a very minuscule way, minute way, you can't tell me a guy who lived in the middle of Cameroon, got deported twice, multiple times, or whatever, maybe even more than twice, built his way up, learned the language, worked in mines. Like, if you've seen the mines in Africa, like the reason the phones we get to use, everything in this world, a lot of the natural resources come from there. A guy who's built his life, fought some of the best, knocked people out left and right. You think he's gonna really fold after that? Like, I think that the world is a little bit different. The people are a little bit harder than that. Right, so I think Francis is gonna be just fine. I think he's gonna be fine when he sees his bank account the next day. I think he's gonna be fine when he's making more money in his next deal, and I think he'll be fine. He lost the fight. He got sniped by an excellent boxer. He went and took a shot and took a chance where most people wouldn't. And I think that we interpret things terribly nowadays. Like, nothing against you, but I think people see something as brutal. They see somebody as a scary guy. They see him as a polarizing figure, and they just don't go for it. Like, but then we want to see
Yeah.
the Warriors. But those are the people they write about. Francis, not, and I take the money out of it, right? He went for a challenge as a man, and I think that's what fighting got away from, right? You say like
Yeah.
we have these fights where you. I could talk about my fight. We could talk another fight. You could say this decision was weird, or this happened. It's like people just don't go after it anymore because they're trying to like play like the safe side of things, right? And then there's no respect. I respect Francis for going after it. How many people in the world would even step and be willing to step on it into a ring, into an arena, start a business, find the person they love and fail, right? Knowing the opportunity to fail is there, right? And I think that's what stops people from going after things. Like, credit to you. Like, look at you. You're doing a podcast. You're doing great work. But I bet you if you could name 20 different people over your time in your life by the time your career's over at least, and you retire, will say, "Oh, I thought about starting a podcast, but I never did." Or they thought about it and they only had 10 views, so they had 10 views in 3 weeks, so now they just quit and it's over. It's the same thing,
Right.
right? It's just Francis just looks, it might just look terrible, right? So they're like, oh, but it's the
Because
same
it's on the
concept.
big
It's
stage.
on the big stage, but look at you too, man. You could be doing these interviews. You could be talking to somebody who hates you for some odd reason. They think you're somebody they knew from way back when. But credit to you,
Yeah.
dog. You're doing your thing. So like I look at Francis like a
Thank
guy.
you.
He's a man who's going after it and he's seeing all he can get out of life. Like, how could you tell him the odds are impossible? If you really flipped a coin and just told me these are the odds of a guy from where Francis is from to get to where he is, to learn the language, to learn the skill set, to be involved in the meeting rooms and all that stuff that people would pray and pay to get into, he's taking what God's given him, right? And if Francis is strong up here and in his heart, which I believe he is, he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I respect him. I respect him for that, man. No, not very many men would do that with the two best boxers in the world, heavyweight, Tyson and Anthony. So
Mm-hmm.
respect to him for sure. I just hope that he can come back, because unfortunately, I think even with McGregor a little bit, that loss with Floyd, he just wasn't really the same, and sometimes a knockout can change someone. But hey, he's a tough guy. He's from Africa, digging in the salt mine. So maybe he's different,
Yeah,
sand
it's
mines.
different, but yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
I don't think McGregor was any different. I think he was just arrogant and
You
foolish
don't think so?
I think he was arrogant and foolish from the get go, and people caught him. And then also too, if
Mm.
McGregor lost to guys who are very good. Like, it's like almost like McGregor fell short, but he fought Khabib. How many people beat
Yeah,
Khabib?
he did.
Nobody.
That was a bad loss too.
How many people look at Dustin Poirier? Dustin Poirier is a dog. Did you see what he did his last fight? Dustin Poirier had to get his get back, right?
Hmm.
And it's like it's not like he went and fought. I'm not gonna insult any fighter. See, you try to get some stuff out of me, but he didn't try to fight somebody who's not who's not there with him. He fought people who were
Yeah.
like, hey, I got to get this back. They want that money. They want those times. He wasn't consistent. Probably he was doing some things, but I don't think that's really what it was. He fought guys who are better than, who developed, guys who developed. Is all I gotta say, right?
Maybe it was a little bit of the hype machine then. So I hear you. Okay. Well, I'll let you go, man. I
So,
appreciate the time, Impa.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you. And good luck in your next fight and in training and all that.
Thank you.